Before my high school entrance exams, I was diagnosed with leukemia. After my parents confirmed it, they had the doctor remove every tube from my body. Before I died, my parents settled the score with me. They said they had never mistreated me. Everything other children had, I had to. But our family did not have that kind of money anymore. Your father and mother are ordinary people too. The doctor said your illness could not be cured, even if we sold everything we owned. Not to mention paying for your brother's college and buying him a home before he marries. Without a home of his own, who would marry him? Xiaoyu. Let's stop treatment, okay? She looked as if she were asking me, but she had already made up her mind. Dad tried to persuade me from the side. You want your brother to have a good life too, right? Once they decided to give up on my treatment, my parents had the doctor remove my tubes. Mom stood beside me, crying. Dad's eyes brimmed with tears. He stood there without a word. They told my uncle to help me up and place me in a wheelchair. Dad would not even touch me. He only saw me to the door. I'm leaving him to you. My uncle nodded and stayed silent through my tears. I looked back. Mom, aren't we going home? But I did not know that the moment they chose to abandon me, I no longer had a home. They did not take me home. On the road with my uncle, he told me, your brother's college entrance exam is coming up. Having you at home will affect him. You would not want your parents and brother to see you looking like death every day, would you? I nodded through my tears. Then, where will I go? My uncle said nothing. He just drove me farther and farther away. 3 hours later, my uncle brought me to a small house. It stood in the countryside, surrounded by fields. That lone little house stood utterly isolated. He locked me inside. Whenever he brought food, I lay there, staring at the tiny room, barely 4 square meters. Suddenly, I felt as though I had been locked inside a grave. What was my brother doing? Was he doing homework? Had Mom made him another pot of nourishing chicken soup? If I were home, my brother would give me the chicken wings, then eat both drumsticks himself. But even the wings were enough to make me happy. Thinking that, I closed my eyes. I could almost see my brother smiling at me. He held me on the couch as we watched cartoons. He told me, don't be afraid. Your big brother is here. Then I never woke up again. When I regained consciousness, I was no longer in that suffocating little house. I was home. Afternoon sunlight filled the living room. Mom was speaking with my uncle. My uncle looked grave. His eyes were red-rimmed. He passed away last night. We only found him this morning. He went peacefully. There was no pain. Maybe he was having a beautiful dream. There was even a smile on his face. As he spoke, tears streamed down my uncle's face. Mom said nothing. She sat there quietly. Her face showed no particular emotion. She merely looked calmly at the things my uncle had brought back. My clothes. Take care of the funeral. Cremate him. Leave his ashes there. My uncle nodded. Just then, my brother came home. He had a ball in his hand. Mom, is Uncle here? I saw his car outside. Mom and Uncle panicked for an instant. The moment my brother came in, he looked around everywhere. He ran to my room. But I was not there. He looked at our uncle in confusion. Didn't Xiaoyu come back with you? Didn't Mom say he was going to the countryside with you for a few days and then come back? Where is he? Mom secretly pinched Uncle. Uncle hurriedly said, Xiaoyu is with your grandmother. He said he wanted to come back after summer break. So my brother did not know I was sick. He only knew I was always running a fever and that Mom had taken me to see a doctor. My brother frowned. Summer break is still 1 or 2 months away. He is not coming back. He is just staying there to play. Mom walked over, taking his backpack and basketball. Oh. Your little brother is just not cut out for studying. Let him play. Do not worry about him. Who says that? Xiaoyu is really smart. Ever since I started keeping an eye on him and making him do homework every day, his grades have gone up 10 places. So, I need to keep watching over him. Uncle, bring Xiaoyu back tomorrow. My uncle said nothing. Before his eyes could redden again, he turned and left. Mom went to see him out, walking him to the hallway. Do not tell Mom. Xiaoyu is the one she loves most. She would not be able to bear it. My uncle said nothing. He only looked at her. Sis, do you have no heart? Does this not hurt you at all? Mom's face remained cold. After a brief pause, she only said, the living still have to go on living. My brother's college entrance exam was approaching. He had a heavy workload, but instead of rushing to do his practice papers, my brother came to my desk. He looked at all the notebooks scattered across it and shook his head helplessly. He began tidying them for me when he suddenly found my language workbook. When he opened it, he saw that I had drawn 2 roosters beneath the little boy's feet so he could run on them like spinning wheels. My brother laughed the moment he saw it. Beside it, he wrote in pencil, not studying properly. Little rascal. Then he organized all my homework books. In my notebook, he wrote me a detailed study plan. He carefully worked out how many words I could memorize each day and how much I could learn. Then he wrote it into the plan with a note in parentheses. Do not force yourself if you cannot finish. As long as you improve from yesterday, that is enough. After carefully finishing my plan, he stretched. Then he seemed to remember something else. At the end of the plan, he wrote, Xiaoyu, study hard for yourself. Your brother wants you to be well. When he finished, He smiled gently. He seemed to imagine me reading those words, feeling encouraged, and studying hard. Mom was cooking in the kitchen. Ever since I was little, I loved staying in the kitchen with her. Whenever she cooked, I would help her. I would pass her things with a solemn little face. I imagined it was an operating room. Mom was the lead surgeon, and I was her assistant, handing her instruments. When I was little, I also loved pretending to be an assistant, wiping the doctor's sweat. I would take a towel and wipe her face. I always made her laugh. Each time, she would affectionately call, "Little assistant, bring mommy the eggs." Day after day, she had grown used to it. There were only the two of us in the kitchen, mother and son. Cooking no longer made her feel so alone, with all its dull little chores. People say, when someone close to you has just died, the loss does not feel quite real at first. When do you realize that person is truly gone forever? Perhaps it is when you take out the tomatoes. Mom had beaten the eggs. Without thinking, she poured them into the pan and scrambled them. Once they were cooked, she dished them out. Then she turned and picked up a knife, holding out her hand for the tomatoes I was meant to bring. Suddenly, she froze. She looked up. The kitchen was empty. She was all alone. Even the whole house felt silent. She went still for a moment. Her eyes suddenly filled with tears. She clenched her fists, forcing every sob and emotion back down. She fought desperately to suppress them. She tried to act as though nothing had happened, while tears fell uncontrollably. Yet she remained cold, eyes wide open, her face expressionless, pretending she was fine. She took tomatoes from the refrigerator and lowered her head to cut them. Then she suddenly remembered. Whenever she cooked, she would always ask, "Xiaoyu, what do you want to eat today?" I would ask my brother. My brother would say, "Anything." Then I would stay by her side and sweetly say, "I love whatever mom makes." My uncle returned to the countryside to handle my funeral. He had my body cremated, then carried my ashes alone back to that little house. It was nighttime when he returned. He entered the little house. There were no lights inside. Suddenly, he pictured me when I was still alive, lying here, barely alive as I waited to die. I always had my back to the door, facing the wall. He set down my ashes and gathered up the bedding. Then, beneath the moonlight, he saw the wall I have faced every day. I had marked the passing days there. Using a little stone, I had scratched tally marks into it. Above them was a crooked line of writing. "When I finish these tally marks, Mom will come take me home." The last tally beneath those words was missing only one final stroke. I died that night. My uncle paused. His brow tightened. He gathered the bedding, then turned and left. When he got back, Grandma was sitting in the yard, under the yard light, wearing reading glasses. She squinted at her brick-like old phone. She looked furious. I knew why she was angry. I used to call her every other day and chat with her. Once, I went to days without calling, and she got so angry. She said I had not called her in half a month. Laughing, I said, "It has not been half a month. It has only been 2 days." She gave a haughty snort. "So today's makes it all right. Why have you gone 2 days without contacting Grandma? If you do not want to call, then do not call for the rest of your life. Just pretend I am dead." Her proud little act made me laugh nonstop. I gently coaxed her, promising to call every other day. Now, she clutched that phone, her face tense as she refused to go to bed. When the neighbors saw my uncle return, she hurried over. "You're finally back. Your mom has been carrying that phone around every day, asking everyone whether her phone is broken or her phone service has run out. She asks anyone she sees. Go take a look." My uncle knew why Grandma kept asking. He walked over and took the phone from her hand, helping her back inside. "Give me my phone." "What phone?" "Go to bed. What if Xiaoyu calls me? What if I cannot answer? Give me my phone." My uncle would not give it to her. After a while, he finally comforted Grandma. Their final exams are coming up, so they are terribly busy. They do not have time. Grandma nodded again and again. She consoled herself. I know, Sai. They have final exams. But Xiaoyu would not forget. Xiaoyu is not as heartless as you people. You get busy and forget I even exist. He is the one closest to me. Grandma stubbornly snatched the phone from my uncle's hand. She sat by the bed, staring at the screen. Uncle's eyes reddened again. He started to speak, then stopped. He seemed ready to just tell her that Xiaoyu would never call again. But he did not dare. He could not bear to. Uncle rubbed his eyes. "I saw Xiaoyu today." "Really? You went to his house today?" "Yes. Xiaoyu said he had not been doing well in school before, and it made you worry. This time, he promised to score 100. Good. If that is the case, I would not mind if he did not call me for a month." But then she changed her mind. "No. A month will not do. That is too long." Then she suddenly thought of something and brightened up again. "Tomorrow is Sunday. He will definitely video call me." With that, she happily lay down, pulled up the covers, and tucked her precious phone beneath her pillow. With her eyes closed, she was already plotting how she would fuss at me tomorrow for not calling for 5 days. She would make a scene over it. The thought made her smile happily. Dad got off work very late. It was midnight when he returned to the neighborhood. There was no one around. Only packs of stray dogs were scavenging for food. Then one of the dogs stopped. It watched the tall, thin, exhausted figure in the night. The dog stood there watching for a long time. Dad recognized him. His name was Xiaohei. I had given him that name. Xiaohei nearly died when he was little because he was the runt of the litter. The other puppies fought desperately to crowd around their mother and nurse. He could not push past them. He was kicked aside, even rejected by his own mother. That day, Dad and I had just returned from picking up a package when we found Xiaohei in the grass. His mother was right beside him, yet she acted as though she did not see him. I could not bear it, so I grabbed Dad's hand and asked if we could take him home. Dad took one look, frowned, and firmly said, "No, his mother has abandoned him, and he may not live long enough to need vaccinations." That day, I held Xiaohei and cried my heart out. Yet Xiaohei seemed able to sense how I felt. He licked my face. His innocent eyes were full of concern and hurt. He did not understand why I was crying, but I understood him. He wanted to comfort me. I shook my head, staring into his eyes, and said with utter certainty, "Xiaohei, remember this. You can do it. You have to keep living." Xiaohei truly survived until the day he could be vaccinated. When the doctor saw me bring Xiaohei back, he patted my head and stroked Xiaohei's head too. His smiling eyes were filled with warmth. He said, "Love can always create miracles." Later, Xiaohei grew bigger by the day and became the neighborhood's undefeated champion. He was a fierce fighter. He bowed to no one, yet only wagged his tail and begged for affection from me. Now, Xiaohei stood at a distance, watching my father. He slowly approached, sniffing Dad's heels and shoes, as if searching for my scent. But Dad was impatient. He kicked Xiaohei away, but Xiaohei would not give up. He ran off, then came back a moment later. In his mouth, he carried a mud-covered pink blanket as he chased after Dad. Dad thought he was filthy and was about to kick him again when he caught sight of the pattern on the blanket. He froze. It was the blanket he had bought for me. I had treasured it in kindergarten. Whenever I slept under it, I felt safe because that blanket had not come easily. I had begged him for so long before he finally agreed to buy it for me. "Why do you have this blanket? Give it to me." Xiaohei ran off with the blanket in his mouth. Dad kept chasing him. As he ran, he tripped and fell. Then he began to cry. He clenched his fist and pounded the ground. He cried without sound, making hoarse, broken sounds in his throat. Yet he could never bring himself to call my name. Xiaohei carried the blanket back to his current hiding place. He curled up in a dark corner, wrapping himself in that little blanket. But he did not sleep. He only stared into the deep night. The box still had all the notes I had left on it, telling him the flavors of each snack. He reached out and touched the notes covered in little hearts and tiny cartoon faces. He picked up a bag of snacks, sat down before the sofa, opened it numbly, and stuffed some into his mouth. "Honey, how about?" Before he could finish, Mom cut him off. Her voice was ice-cold. "He is dead." Dad's hand tightened sharply around the snacks. He turned to Mom in disbelief. Her eyes were red. Her voice trembled. He opened his mouth but could not speak. "Why did no one tell me? We should have gone to see him. In his final moments, we should have stayed by his side. Where is he now? Go see him. He has already been cremated." Mom turned and went back to her room. Watching Mom's cold retreating figure, Dad felt as if his heart were being crushed. He suddenly could not breathe. He gasped for air, ran to the balcony, and opened the window, struggling to hold back his sobs. Yet at that moment, he felt ashamed of his own tears. He suddenly realized, what right did he have to cry? The day they removed my tubes, he had been there too. He had also taken part in that decision. He suddenly felt hollow. He wiped away his tears, then went to my room. He opened the closet to sort through my things. He took my old books out of the boxes beneath my bed and organized them again. He looked through them one by one, from the fairy tales I loved as a child to the novels I loved when I grew older. He remembered when I was in middle school, and he caught me secretly reading one. He read to chapters, then frowned and said, "What is this nonsense?" His tears turned into a smile. He caressed the novel's cover, as though he could see my cheerful smile from back then. Then, as he kept turning pages, he found my diary. It even had a tiny combination lock. Naturally, he opened it using my password. He turned to the first page. It was from when I was 5. Back then, I sat in his lap and dictated while he wrote for me. Really, he had written it for me. It read, "Dad bought me a diary today. From now on, I will record myself growing up here." He kept reading. It was full of little everyday details. What I had eaten, what I had played, what cartoons I had watched. Then he came to an entry about the time Dad was hospitalized after a workplace accident. He had been wrapped in so much gauze. Back then, one of his co-workers jokingly tried to scare me, saying, Your dad is going to die. I remember I did not think about anything then. I just sat on the floor and burst into tears. The adults all laughed. Dad held me and comforted me for a long time. Later, I wrote in my diary, "Dear God, please do not take my dad away. If you can, I would trade my own life for my dad to live. Please do not take my dad away." When Dad saw what I had written on that page, he broke down completely. His hand reached out, trembling, to touch the words I had written in my agitation, crooked and unsteady across the page. Tears poured down his face. We had all loved and been loved once, but too much time had passed, and we had all forgotten. That night, Dad took my diary to Mom. He showed her that page, hoping to find even a trace of warmth in her. Mom would not look. He forced her to. Then, Mom was forced to read the words I had written. Dad trembled, tears streaming endlessly down his face. Crying, he asked, "Xiuhua, what have we done?" Mom looked at that diary page, expressionless. After a long silence, she slowly spoke. "Yes, a child's heart is so pure. When a child says they love their father and mother, that love is real. We were children once too. But are you still a child?" Mom suddenly raised her eyes at Jianping, her voice sharp with accusation. Dad fell silent. After a while, he gave a bitter laugh. "You mean, now that we are grown, we are worse than children?" That was not what Mom meant. But when she heard those words, she froze for a moment. She turned over, closed her eyes, and faced away from Dad. May 12th, Mother's Day, marked the second week since my death. My brother was buried and preparing for the college entrance exams. He left early and came home late every day. He had no time to wonder why I had not come home. Only when he passed my room and remembered I was still in the countryside would he shake his head, sigh, and mutter, "Always fooling around." That day, Mom was cooking in the kitchen. She did not remember it was Mother's Day. My brother came home, sat at the table doing homework, and kept looking toward the door. Mom brought the food to the table. My brother did not eat. "Are you waiting for your dad? He will be home at noon." "I know. I am waiting for Xiaoyu." Mom paused. "What are you waiting for?" she asked flatly. "He is in the countryside. He will definitely come home today. He is bringing you a Mother's Day gift." As he spoke, he pulled up the text I had sent him earlier and showed it to Mom. It was from March. I had already begun thinking about what gift to give her, so I asked my brother. My brother advised me, "Whatever you do, do not give her anything that cost money." He was right. I remembered when I was in 3rd grade, the first time I gave Mom a Mother's Day gift. It was a carnation. Just one flower cost 13 yuan. The instant Mom received it, she cursed me out. "What use is a flower?" she demanded. I stood there, hurt and wronged, my eyes red from crying. I wanted so badly to say, "Mom, I gave you flowers because I wanted to wish you a happy Mother's Day," but I could not say it. I kept thinking about what she had asked. What use is a flower? After that, I never dared buy her another gift. For later holidays, I only made crafts or wrote cards. But that March, I was always feeling ill. I had nightmares and an inexplicable feeling that I would not live much longer. So I wanted to give Mom a gift. My brother could not think of anything for me and said I was silly, that I could not think for myself. So, in a huff, I sent him a message. "I will give Mom the best Mother's Day gift ever." Mom looked at the message, her face revealing nothing. She took my brother's phone away and said evenly, "He must have forgotten already. How could Xiaoyu possibly forget? He has never forgotten." Mom suddenly erupted, raising her voice. I said, "Eat. So eat. Do not wait for her." My brother flinched in surprise. He did not know why she had suddenly gotten angry, but he knew Mom was usually even-tempered. Once she erupted, it was best not to defy her. He hesitated, then said nothing more. He lowered his head and ate, but he still saved plenty of my favorite dishes for me. I am full. After my brother finished eating, he slung on his backpack and left. Mom looked at the food left on the table. Her face was expressionless, but her whole body was shaking. Another week passed. I still had not come home. My brother grew increasingly uneasy. Whenever he called me, my phone was switched off. When he asked Uncle said I was keeping Grandma company. There was no signal in the village. He chose a weekend to go pick me up, but Mom stopped him. "How many days are left before your college entrance exams? Do you not know that yourself? I am the one not letting him come back. I am afraid he will distract you. If you want him back sooner, then focus and do well on your exams." Hearing Mom say that, he did not dare say another word. He only studied harder. Whenever he looked at our chat history, an unspoken guilt rose within him. That same weekend, our homeroom teacher came to our home for a visit. Mom poured the teacher a cup of tea. Xiaoyu is not home. She has gone to the countryside. I have already requested leave for her. I am sorry to disturb you without notice, but I would like to know why Xiaoyu has remained in the countryside for so long. Please understand that we are only doing our job. There have been serious issues at school lately, and the school requires us to look into every student who is not attending school regularly and determine the reason. Mom shook her head It has nothing to do with that. My mother is unwell, so Xiaoyu went to keep his grandmother company. Oh, I see. The teacher did not press the matter further. She only took out a plane ticket and an invitation, handing them to Mom. Mom accepted them. Puzzled, Mrs. Gu, has Gu Xiaoyu not told you that he submitted a short story he wrote? Mom fell silent for a moment, then shook her head. Her story won an award. The organizers invited him to the city to accept the award. There is prize money too. You are truly fortunate to have Gu Xiaoyu, Mrs. Gu. Gu Xiaoyu is very gifted at writing, though his other grades are not very good. Her Chinese language and composition grades have always been perfect. The organizers said that if Gu Xiaoyu writes anything else in the future, he can submit it directly to them. It might even be published. Mom stared at the plane ticket without speaking, seeing no reaction from her. The teacher cautiously called Mrs. Gu. Mom came back to herself. She nodded, still distant. All right, I understand. Is there anything else? Seeing how distant she was, the teacher did not say anything further. She only reminded Mom that Xiaoyu would soon be in 9th grade, and he could not keep missing classes. Please have him return soon. Mom nodded indifferently. The moment she closed the door, my brother came out of his room. He turned and met her eyes. He froze, then composed himself. What is it, Mom? What happened to Xiaoyu? Nothing. Then why did you lie and say Grandma was sick? Why did you say he was keeping Grandma company? I just called Grandma. She said Xiaoyu was not with her at all. She has not heard from Xiaoyu in a long time either. Mom lowered her head, her expression hidden. My brother raised his phone and demanded, I just called Uncle. He still said Xiaoyu was with Grandma. Why are you lying to Grandma and me? Where is Xiaoyu? What happened to him? Mom furrowed her brow and stared at him coldly. Gushai, college entrance exams are coming up. This is not your concern. Fine. Then it is simple. Tell me where Xiaoyu is. Let me speak to him. As long as I know he is all right, I will not ask again. Mom's brow tightened. She did not know what to say. Seeing Mom remain silent, my brother did not hesitate. He opened the front door and headed out. Gushai, where are you going? My brother violently shook off Mom's hand and ran downstairs. As he raced downstairs, the fear inside him grew stronger. He abandoned the bicycle he was about to ride and sprinted to the entrance of the complex. He hailed a cab and told the driver to take him straight to the countryside. After a 2-hour drive, my brother arrived at Grandma's house. Grandma stood at the courtyard gate, as if waiting for him. The moment she saw him, she gripped his hand. Shy. Why are they lying to me? Where has my Xiaoyu gone? Then Uncle received Mom's message and hurried to Grandma's house. He looked at Grandma and my brother, his eyes shifting uneasily. My brother grabbed Uncle by the collar, overcome with emotion. Tell me, Uncle, tell me what happened. If Xiaoyu had only been disobedient, run from home, or it was some other minor matter, you would not hide it like this, would you? The more my brother thought, the more terrified he became. He clutched Uncle's collar so hard his knuckles turned white. He did not dare imagine it. His eyes were bloodshot, his lips trembling, his voice gone hoarse. Where is Xiaoyu? What happened? What happened? I am begging you, tell me. Uncle could not bear it any longer. He wiped the sweat from his forehead and the tears at the corners of his eyes. He looked away. After struggling for a long time, he finally gave in. Xiaoyu is gone. My brother went silent for a moment, then his whole body began trembling uncontrollably. He shook so hard that he crouched down, hugging his knees, trying to stop the trembling, but he could not. He kept gulping in air. He wanted to cry, but no sound would come. A crushing grief kept surging up inside him, until tears blurred his vision. Later, Uncle and my brother returned to Grandma's house. My brother was very calm. He hugged Grandma and gently patted her back. Do not worry, Grandma, that is just how Xiaoyu is. He did not want to take his exams, so he is hiding at Uncle's house. I already told him off. Grandma was not entirely convinced. She looked into my brother's eyes. His eyes were red, but he tried hard to appear calm and normal. He did not want to take his exams. Why did he not hide with me? Xiaoyu does not want Grandma to think he is a failure. Then where is he now? Why did he not come with you? I scolded him, and he got upset with me. He refuses to come out. Why did you scold him? So what if you get good grades? You think that makes you special? Who gave you the right to bully him? My brother's eyes stung with tears. He quickly turned away. Uncle hurried to soothe Grandma. All right, enough. Once the children finish their exams, they will return to be with you. Do not be angry. Grandma was still furious. Uncle had to pull her into the house, while she kept grumbling. All you know is how to bully my Xiaoyu. You only do it because he is easy to bully. After speaking with Uncle, my brother finally learned that Mom and Dad had decided to give up on me. They had watched with their own eyes as the doctor removed my tubes and then handed me over to Uncle. Heartbroken, my brother looked at that tiny room, not even for square meters. Why? Why did they cram him into that coffin before he was even gone? Uncle glanced at him, but did not answer. My brother answered himself, shaking his head in anguish. For me, so it would not affect my studies. Then why did it have to be here? He was already dying. Why could he not, before he died, have a better place to stay? Your mother did not want to spend any more money on him. Since they began paying for his treatment, hospital bills and medication costs had already come to more than 100,000 yuan. You know, your mother has always been careful with money. For anything she considers unnecessary, she will not spend another cent. Hearing that, my brother clenched his fist. Unnecessary? Do you remember your grandfather? My brother froze. The day your grandfather had a stroke. The doctor said he would likely be paralyzed. The whole family held a meeting. You were 2 years old then. Your mother held you and said she would not contribute any money because she believed there was no point spending it to keep a burden alive. At that point, Uncle drew a pained breath, taking a deep inhale to steady himself. Frowning, he forced himself to shut away that memory. He looked at my brother. Shy, your mother may seem cold and heartless, but we all felt her reasoning was not without merit. It is only emotionally hard to accept, and she truly loves you. My brother did not listen any further. He turned and left. It was late at night when my brother returned. Mom sat on the sofa, all alone. The house felt bleak and empty. My brother entered and switched on the light. Mom narrowed her eyes. Then my brother asked, "Why did you not treat Xiaoyu? We do not have the money. Our savings are for your college and for buying you a home when you marry. If you marry a woman from somewhere that expects a high bride price, we may also have to pay a substantial bride price." My brother's eyes reddened. He gave a mocking laugh, nodded, and looked out the window. So this is all that fills your mind. Did you ever look at Xiaoyu and think, I do not want him to die? Mom answered without hesitation, her voice utterly cold. No. I just hoped he would not keep dragging it out, suffering himself, and making everyone else endure it with him. I cannot keep this going. My brother was stunned. He stared at Mom in disbelief. You do not understand consequences at all, just like you do not understand how important the college entrance exam is for you. You fool around every day, and it's such a critical time. You waste time running off to the countryside. Gushai, you do not understand anything. Tears slid down my brother's face. He gave a bitter, mocking laugh. Yes, you understand best. All the pros and cons, all the causes and consequences, you understand them best. But do you think you are even human? Mom, you are terrifying. With that, my brother carried my ashes outside. Mom trembled with rage. Stop. You stop right there. Gushai, you still have the college entrance exam. She chased after him, shouting all the way. But my brother never stopped. Mom began to cry as she ran after him. Her sobbing voice trembled, almost pleading. At least I have been good to you. At least my conscience is clear when it comes to you. Gushai, come back. That night, when my brother, Gushai, carried my ashes and left home, I visited him in a dream. I had only meant to give it a try, but it actually worked. I saw him in my dream. He saw me, yet he only stood there crying. As he wept, he crouched down, crying his heart out. Brother, do not cry. You still have the college entrance exam. My brother suddenly got angry. He looked up, glaring at me. Xiaoyu, is that all you have to say? You came to find me in my dream, just to tell me that I still have the college entrance exam? I smiled. But this really is important. Why? Because one day, I will be your child, brother. So, you have to do well on your exams. Find a good job later. Make lots of money. And buy me a big house to live in. The light flickered in my brother's eyes. Do you mean it? You will come back as my child. I nodded. My brother wiped away his tears and clasped my hand. Then it is a promise. You have to come back. I will treat you twice as well. Okay. I believe you. My brother believed me too. The next day, he put aside his grief and devoted himself to studying. From that day on, the college entrance exam meant something entirely different to him. The guide in a suit tugged the chain in his hand, his expression cold. You have seen enough. Let us go. Wait, can I see Xiaohei one last time before I leave? There is no need. As he spoke, he gestured behind me. Then I suddenly saw Xiaohei, his tongue hanging out. He raced wildly toward me, my heart aching. I pulled him into my arms. Xiaohei, why are you here? From the urn your brother carried, he caught your scent. He knew you had died, and then he stopped eating and drinking. Holding him, I sobbed uncontrollably. Xiaohei, why are you so foolish? Because dogs are not like people. They do not weigh so many things. Gains and losses, or bright futures. He does not understand any of that. He only wants to know where the one he loves most is, then race toward them, even if death is the price. I held Xiaohei tightly. He was overjoyed. This little fool. Did he know he had died? I laughed through my tears, still holding him. I followed the guide, without looking back. No more goodbyes. My life of loving